I woke up to Mirabella's frantic snarls, the acrid stench of rot curling through my bedroom window. Her banging against the door was impossible to ignore. Something terrible was happening outside. I grabbed my training sword from under the bed, just like my mom taught me to do in emergencies. I jumped to my feet, the sword heavy in my hand, as sharp, desperate screams sliced through the quiet dawn. I flung the door open and froze at the sight of a gaunt, rotting figure lurching toward my neighbor. The zombie's jaws dripped with black blood, its guttural groans echoing through the empty street. My neighbor screamed, stumbling back in terror as the undead creature closed in on them. I raised my sword, ready to charge in and fight, until a clear voice cut through the chaos. "Stop!" It was Bella, but her eyes weren't warm brown anymore. They were glowing bright crimson. She stepped between the zombie and my neighbor, her presence instantly commanding the undead creature to halt. With a single small gesture, the zombie froze mid-lurch, as if held by invisible, unbreakable chains. The rotting figure stood completely motionless, its groans silenced as if it had been turned to stone. I stood there stunned, watching as my best friend displayed powers I never could have imagined. I walked toward her, my sword still in hand, but my fear replaced by overwhelming confusion. For a split second, her eyes turned pitch black, and a low, guttural growl escaped her lips. She pressed a hand to her chest, where the red bead glowed faintly, as if fighting to regain control. The crimson bead pulsed, its light flickering, as it struggled against the darkness, trying to take over her. I lowered my sword, realizing Bella was still in there fighting whatever dark force had taken hold of her. The undead creature turned, shambling away into the distance, as if released from an invisible prison. She leaned into me, her breathing shallow, as the first fragile hint of hope returned to my shattered world. I could feel my scar on my left cheek burn as I tried to process everything that had just happened. Then I noticed the Babayan markings on her forearm, glowing faintly crimson in the sunlight. She stumbled, and I caught her, shocked to feel her skin was cold as ice despite the warm morning sun. We stood alone in the devastated town, unsure what would come next, but knowing we had to face it together. I'm Bella, and the red bead embedded in my chest is humming like a live wire right now. My arm burns. Those strange Babayan markings are glowing crimson, matching something in the mirror. When I look in the mirror, my eyes aren't my own. They're pitch black, hungry. A growl rumbles in my throat, unbidden. I didn't mean to stop that zombie. I just thought it. I don't understand what's happening to me. One minute, I'm human. The next, something else. I scrub at the markings, but they won't fade. They're stuck to me, like a part of my skin. The sun's setting, and this room feels more like a prison than the place I grew up in. I'm scared. What if I can't control this? What if I hurt someone I love? A sharp knock cuts through the silence, urgent, like someone's running from death. My hands curl into fists. Whatever's on the other side, I'm ready to fight it. I yank the door open, ready to face whatever's waiting, zombie or worse. But it's not a zombie. It's Mira, my best friend, sword raised like she's ready to attack. But she's not pointing at me. Her eyes are locked on something creeping up behind my back. My blood runs cold. I spin around, heart pounding in my ears. A rotting zombie is reaching for me, its jaws dripping black, putrid blood. Mira doesn't hesitate. She swings her sword, aiming straight for its head. The zombie collapses to the ground, and Mira steps beside me, breathing hard. My eyes flicker back to crimson, and I gasp for air. I'm still here. I'm still me, right? We don't need to speak. We both know this is only the first of many monsters. Whatever this curse is, whatever these monsters are, we're going to face it together. The red bead's hum fades a little, but I can still feel it waiting, hungry. Mira's sword is worn, but she's never been more determined. She's my rock. Down that hallway, I can see more shadows, more monsters, waiting for us. We grip each other's hands. No matter what comes next, we won't let go. We step into the dark, ready to fight for our lives, and for whatever's left of our world. I swung hard, my blade slicing through the zombie's neck like butter. The chaos was just starting. Bella's crimson eyes flared brighter, and 3 more rotting figures froze mid-lurch. Her power pulsed through the air, holding them like invisible chains. We weren't safe yet. Mirabella bounded past me, tackling another zombie to the pavement, her growls mixed with crackling fire. Smoke rose from a burning house at the end of the street. We had to move fast. I grabbed Bella's wrist, my fingers tightening around her cold skin. "Run!" I shouted over the chaos. She stumbled, her hand pressing to the glowing bead in her chest. Her power was draining fast. The crimson bead dimmed, its glow fading to a faint flicker. She was losing control. Mirabella chased close on our heels, her paws pounding the cracked pavement. We ducked into the alley, its brick walls closing around us like a cage. I pressed a finger to my lips, signaling silence. We couldn't make a sound. We pressed our backs to the cold brick, our breaths shallow. The world went quiet, too quiet. Then I heard the distant shuffle of feet, getting closer. So many feet. The shadows shifted at the alley mouth. They were surrounding us, trapped with no way out. Bella's crimson eyes faded, her face pale with fear. "What do we do?" she whispered. I gripped my sword tighter, my muscles coiled to fight. We weren't going down without a fight. Mirabella growled, her hackles raised high. The sound of rotting flesh grew louder. Rotting fingers scraped against the brick outside. They were right there, just inches away. We were surrounded, trapped in a concrete cage with the undead closing in. This was it. our final stand. Then Bella's eyes flared crimson again, brighter than before. Her power wasn't gone, not yet. She raised her hand, and the shuffling stopped. The undead froze mid-lurch, their rotting faces pressed to the brick. For a moment, there was silence. We were alive for now. But how long would it last? I let out a shaky breath, my shoulders slumping. We'd escaped the first wave, but more would come. Bella slid down the wall, her breathing ragged. Mirabella nuzzled her hand, offering quiet comfort. I scanned the street, my gaze darting to the horizon. A new horde was coming bigger, closer. We needed a plan, fast. We were trapped in that alley, surrounded by rot and hunger, with no way out. Every exit was blocked, those things closing in like a tide of death. Bella's eyes flared crimson. She was ready to unleash the power we feared. With a single gesture, she sent them stumbling back. Her power was terrifying, but our only hope. Then Mirabella caught a scent. She'd found our way out, hidden under the grime. A rusted sewer grate, our only chance to escape the horde. We heaved it open together, metal scraping against concrete in the dark. Bella went first, lowering herself into the damp darkness below. I followed, sword in hand, as Mirabella leaped down after us. We slid the grate closed, blocking out the sound of the hungry horde above. The sewer was cold and damp, reeking of rot and mildew, a place of forgotten horrors. I didn't notice the one above us until it was too late, its blood dripping down. A drop of its cold, dead blood landed on Bella's shoulder and everything changed. Her body went rigid, that familiar dark aura wrapping around her like a shroud. Her crimson eyes faded to pitch black. The dark half was waking up, hungry and angry. I gripped my sword tighter, my throat dry as I watched her change in front of me. I was ready to fight if I had to, even against the girl I'd sworn to protect. We stood there in the dark, the air thick with tension, waiting for what would happen next. The red bead in her chest dimmed, like it was struggling against the darkness inside her. Even Mirabella could feel it, growling low as she stared at Bella's dark form. I took a slow step forward, hoping to reach the girl I knew before it was too late. For a split second, I saw her eyes flash crimson again. She was still in there, fighting back, but the darkness was strong, and I knew this was only the beginning of our new nightmare. We thought we were safe in the storm drain until that zombie's blood hit Bella's shoulder. I watched the red drop land on her dress, and I knew something was wrong the second it touched her. Her crimson eyes turned pitch black, no warmth left, just raw, hungry rage that scared me to my core. She lunged at that zombie, like a wild animal, teeth bared, ready to tear it apart without mercy. I dove forward, yanking her back with all my strength, my sword clattering to the damp concrete. She fought me like I was the enemy, her body trembling with a dark force I couldn't control. I could feel her slipping away into that darkness that threatened to consume her completely. Then, her eyes flickered back to crimson, and she gasped like she'd been drowning in that dark rage. Mirabella's fierce growl sent that zombie scrambling away, vanishing into the dark pipes behind us. Bella collapsed into my arms, sobbing like her entire world had just shattered right in front of her. I held her tight, my hand pressing to her chest, and that's when I felt the most terrifying thing. Her skin was cold as ice, like she'd been dead for days, but her heart was beating, fast, frantic. She was alive, but she wasn't fully human anymore. Not really. That darkness had changed her forever. The drain felt colder than ever, like it was holding secrets we weren't ready to face, secrets that would break us. I helped her to her feet, my legs shaking from adrenaline and the fear of what might happen next. Her red bead was dim now, like it was fighting to keep that darkness from taking over her completely. I squeezed her hand, letting her know I wasn't going anywhere. Not now, not ever. We could see the faint light from the grate above our way out, our only hope in this dark nightmare. We moved toward it slowly, every step heavy, knowing this was only the beginning of our horror. But as we got closer, I knew that darkness inside Bella wasn't gone. It was just waiting for the right moment to strike again. I thought we'd escape the undead, but Bella pulled me into this moldy basement with a secret. The air smelled like mildew and rust, but we finally had a moment to breathe. Then she slowly pulled down her dress, revealing the glowing red bead embedded in her chest. I leaned in, my breath catching, as the warm glow seeped into my palm from inches away. That's when I spotted it, a tattered lab manual, half buried under rusted cans. The cover had a familiar symbol, the same one Alicia wore on her lab coat. I flipped through the pages, my fingers freezing when I saw the diagram of the red bead. It was called the Undead Control Device, but the notes told a darker story. As I read, Bella's arm markings pulsed in time with the bead's glow. My throat went dry as I realized what this meant for her. Alicia's scrawled handwriting sent a chill down my spine. The bead will merge with her on her 18th birthday. The words burned into my brain. I didn't want to believe it, but the date was right there. Bella's hand pressed to her chest, her crimson eyes filled with fear. The basement suddenly felt smaller, like the walls were closing in on us. Today was her 18th birthday. The fusion was already starting. Bella's body started to glow, the bead's energy spreading through her veins. The manual slipped from my fingers, landing open to the final warning. I grabbed her shoulders, shaking her, begging her to stay with me. But the glow only grew brighter, and I knew we were running out of time. The red light shifted to gold, and Bella's eyes flickered between crimson and brown. Then we heard the distant shuffle of undead feet outside our safe haven. I grabbed a rusted iron bar, ready to fight for her, no matter what. But Bella raised a hand, and the dust in the air froze mid-fall. She wasn't just the victim anymore, she was becoming something else entirely. I thought we were safe in that basement. But dawn shattered all our hope. The door slammed open, and there she was, Alicia, the monster who started it all. I grabbed my training sword, stepping between her and Bella, ready to fight to the death. Mirabella growled, her hackles raised. She knew this was no ordinary threat. Bella's red bead flared brighter, and Alicia smirked, taking a step closer with that syringe. Bella's Bebean markings glowed, and Alicia stumbled back, clutching her chest in pain. I swung my sword as hard as I could, but she ducked, the blade slicing just past her head. That's when she did it. She threw the syringe, shattering it against the concrete floor. The liquid smoked and hissed, eating through the concrete. It wasn't a sedative, it was poison. Then we heard them, the zombies, growling louder, their shuffling feet getting closer. I ran to the door, pressing my ear against the metal. Their roars were deafening now. Bella's eyes flared crimson, her entire body glowing with that strange red energy. Mirabella barked, charging at the door like she could tear through it to the zombies outside. Alicia stood off to the side, smirking like she'd already won this twisted game. We were trapped, with poison spreading on the floor and zombies closing in from every side. The poison's fumes spread through the air, making my throat burn and my eyes water. Bella raised her hand, and I could feel that red energy building around her. She was planning something desperate. I tightened my grip on my sword, ready to fight off whatever came through that door, no matter what. The door creaked and groaned, starting to bend under the weight of the zombie horde outside. Alicia's grin grew wider, and I realized she'd planned this all along, to trap us here. We stood back to back, Bella, Mirabella, and me, ready to face the horror that was about to break in. The door split open, and a rotting hand reached through. Our time was running out. The basement doors burst open. Those rotting monsters were inside, and we were trapped. I gripped my training sword tighter. This was it. No more hiding. Then I felt it. Bella's aura shifted, dark and cold. She didn't just stop them, she turned them on Alicia. Alicia screamed as the horde closed in karma, or just plain luck. But Bella's red bead was dimming. Her power was burning out fast. Her body swayed, like she could barely stand. The power was too much. I ran to her, catching her before she hit the ground. We had to get out. I dragged her toward the back door. Those monsters were right behind us. We burst through the back door into the cold night air. I didn't look back, but I heard her screams. Good. Part of me felt guilty, but only a tiny part. Bella collapsed in the alley, her body going limp. I couldn't carry her alone. Her eyes flickered back to crimson. She was still in there, somewhere. I hoisted her over my shoulder. We had to reach the safe house before dawn. The safe house was up ahead, if we could just make it there. We stumbled inside, and I slammed the door shut behind us. Her red bead was almost dark. Now her power was nearly gone. I sat beside her, watching her chest rise and fall, slow and shallow. Outside, the moans grew closer. We weren't safe yet. I rested my hand on my sword, ready for whatever came next. Then her finger twitched. She was waking up. The camp was quiet for now, but I knew it wouldn't last. I wouldn't let anything happen to her again. Not ever. She opened her eyes, whispering my name. I knew we'd make it. By dawn, Bella and I were half dead, hiding in this ghost of a park. We thought we'd finally caught our breath. We had no idea we weren't alone. Someone had been watching us, waiting in the trees. Then he stepped out, leader of a ragtag group, crossbow ready. But his eyes weren't full of fear. They were full of hope. His group emerged, but they didn't aim to fight. They stared at Bella like she was the answer to all our prayers. For the first time in weeks, I didn't feel like we were running. For a second, I thought we might finally be safe. He spoke, and my blood ran cold. He knew who Bella was. He called her our only hope. Bella tensed, her hand flying to the red bead in her chest. She could feel its power, fading but still there. I stepped in front of her, sword ready. I didn't trust anyone anymore, even people who called us hope. That's when it happened. A zombie burst from the trees, straight for the leader. Chaos exploded before our eyes. The survivors scattered, but the leader froze. That thing was inches from his throat before I could move. I screamed Bella's name, my voice cracking. For a second, I thought we'd lost everything. Then her eyes snapped open, bright crimson, not the empty black they'd been. The red bead flared to life. She raised a hand, and that zombie froze mid-lurch. It stopped, like it was caught in invisible chains. With a flick of her wrist, she sent it stumbling back into the trees. It didn't fight. It ran, like it was terrified of her. The leader stared, crossbow clattering to the ground. He didn't just believe anymore. He knew we were their only shot. One by one, his group dropped their weapons. They didn't see monsters anymore. They saw salvation. Bella collapsed, her energy spent. I caught her, and for the first time in months, I let myself believe we might just make it. The leader stepped forward, offering water and food. "You're one of us now," he said. For once, I didn't doubt him. They surrounded us, not as strangers, but as family. For the first time since the outbreak, I felt hope that wasn't just a flicker. It was a fire. But as I held her hand, I felt the red bead pulse. This wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of something bigger. I thought we were safe after Bella tamed those zombies. I was so wrong. Morning in the abandoned park. We thought we'd finally found a way to coexist. Then I saw her, Alicia. hiding in the shadows, a syringe in her hand. Her eyes locked on me, and I felt a sharp sting in my neck before I could react. I hit the ground, my vision blurring, as Bella's scream cut through the air. The poison burned through my veins, and I could feel my strength fading fast. Alicia stepped out, grinning, with a horde of red-eyed zombies at her heels. Bella planted herself in front of me, her crimson eyes flaring brighter than ever. "Hand over the red bead," she shouted, "or your friend dies a slow, painful death." I watched as the red bead in Bella's chest pulsed, her hands trembling with rage. The survivors scrambled back, while Alicia's zombies advanced, hungry and ready to attack. Then I saw it. Bella's eyes began to turn pitch black, her dark side breaking through. Her posture shifted, from protective to predatory, a dark aura swirling around her. Alicia's grin faded, replaced by shock, as she took a step back in fear. The air grew thick with tension, as we all waited to see what Bella would do next. Mirabella barked fiercely, ready to defend us, even against impossible odds. "Stop this, Bella," Alicia yelled, raising her syringe again, "or I'll finish her off right now." Bella didn't answer, she just raised her hand, and the ground began to shake. The zombies turned on each other, half under Bella's control, half under Alicia's chaos erupted in the park. I tried to call out to her, but my voice was gone. I could only watch. Helpless. That smile. I knew then we were no longer dealing with the Bella I knew. The park became a battlefield, and I had no idea if any of us would make it out alive. "I thought we'd found a way out," Bella agreed, "to give up the crimson bead to save me." Alicia smirked, her eyes cold as she waited, like she already knew she'd break the deal. Mirabella lunged to protect Bella, but Alicia's kick was faster than I could blink. The kick sent her flying into a tree. I heard her whimper, and something in Bella snapped. Her eyes turned pitch black. The dark half I'd feared was finally in full, terrifying control. The Bebe marks on her arm glowed black darkness pouring out of every part of her. Alicia stumbled back, fear finally showing. Even her own zombies cowered away. She roared deep, inhuman, like the monster Alicia tried to make her become. She walked toward Alicia, every step shaking the ground. Zombies parted like the sea from a storm. I pushed myself up, shoulder screaming. The deal was broken, no going back now. Alicia fumbled for her coat, like she thought she could still fight this darkness. Bella lifted one hand, and the zombies turned on her. Her control was absolute now. I was scared. Scared of what she'd become, but more scared she'd get hurt. Alicia ran, zombies hot on her heels. Bella didn't chase, she just watched, cold and still. For a second, crimson flickered in her black eyes. The real Bella was still in there, fighting. The crimson bead dimmed, like it was fighting the darkness too, fighting to keep her with us. I stepped toward her slowly, like approaching a feral animal. Mirabella dragged herself to my side. She turned to look at me. For a split second, the darkness seemed to hold its breath. I held out my hand, voice barely a whisper. "Bella, come back to me." Her body shook, eyes flickering black to crimson. The fight for her soul was just beginning. She cried out, half human, half monster. It tore at my heart like nothing ever had. The zombies circled, unsure, scared of the darkness, but drawn to the last bit of Bella left. I watched in horror as Bella's dark power flared, her Bebean markings glowing like blood. The zombies we'd fought turned on Alicia, their rotting hands reaching for her throat. I pushed myself up, my sword heavy in my hand, ready to fight back. But Alicia had a trick. She pulled a vial from her pocket, eyes filled with desperation. She smashed it against her palm, and something horrifying began to happen. Her eyes turned crimson, just like Bella's. She'd stolen the red bead's power. Red energy crackled between them, the air thick with raw, unhinged power. Alicia sent a blast of red energy, and Bella deflected it with a single hand. The blast hit a tree, which exploded in a fireball that lit up the sky. Bella struck back, sending Alicia stumbling, her lab coat catching fire at the hem. I slashed through a zombie that got too close, my sword singing through the air. Even our zombie mothers fought side by side, their fists swinging to protect us. Bella's grin was terrifying, wide, feral, like she enjoyed every second of the chaos. She raised her hand, and the zombies surged toward the human survivors, jaws snapping. But then her evil half emerged, grabbing her wrist in a vice-like grip. She slammed Bella to the ground, her face twisted in rage as she leaned over her. She hissed, something that made my blood run cold. Hate was stronger than love, she said, and she was about to prove it, her hand glowing with dark, deadly energy. I sprinted toward them, sword raised, ready to stop her before it was too late. Mirabella charged too, her snarls echoing over the sounds of battle. Alicia fired a blast of energy, distracting the evil half long enough for me to reach Bella. Bella's red bead flickered under her hand, fighting to take back control from her dark side. Our zombie mothers turned the tide, fighting back the horde to protect the survivors. The battle raged on, fire and red energy lighting up the afternoon sky. I grabbed Bella's hand, trying to pull her back from the darkness that was consuming her. Her eyes flickered back to crimson, and tears streamed down her face. She was fighting back. But her evil half roared, growing stronger, refusing to let go of its hold on her. Alicia pulled out another vial, ready to use the last of the red bead's power. We all stood together, ready to fight the darkness that threatened to take Bella forever. And in that moment, I knew this wasn't just a fight for Bella. It was a fight for love itself. I stared down Alicia, our crimson powers clashing in the ruined park. Neither of us could gain the upper hand. Each blast we sent shook the ground, the dead trees creaking like they were watching us fight to the death. I gathered all my power, ready to end this once and for all, until a cold darkness started creeping into my mind. My fingers trembled, and black veins started snaking up my arm. I could feel something wrong, something dark, taking over. I looked up, and Alicia's eyes widened in shock. My reflection in her power showed something terrifying, pitch-black eyes, void of any humanity. The darkness won. My eyes turned completely black, and I could feel a voice screaming in my head, telling me to attack. I turned my head, and my eyes locked on Mira. The voice in my head roared, "Kill her! She's a threat to your power." Mira's face twisted with worry, not fear. She called my name, but the dark voice was too loud in my ears. My body moved on its own, walking toward Mira like a puppet. I tried to fight it, but the darkness held me tight. I raised my hand, pointing directly at Mira. The power built up in my palm, but part of me screamed to stop. This wasn't who I was. Alicia laughed, a cold, cruel sound. She'd wanted this for the darkness to take me over completely. Mira didn't run. She took a step toward me, her hand outstretched. "Bella, fight it!" she shouted, but I could barely hear her. My face burned with the pain of two warring wills. I could feel myself slipping, the darkness swallowing my mind, bit by bit. I glanced at Alicia, her grin sickening, and back at Mira, her face filled with hope. I had to choose, but the darkness was winning. The red bead in my chest flickered, dimming until it was barely visible. It was fighting the darkness, but it was losing. The survivors and zombies alike stood frozen, watching me. I could feel their stares, their fear, and their hope, too. My body shook, the dark energy inside me tearing me apart. I fell to my knees, screaming as the darkness and my own will clashed violently. Mira ran toward me, screaming my name. I tried to reach for her, but the darkness held me back, forcing my hand to stay raised. The power in my palm grew, red and black swirling together. I could feel it one final push, and the shot would fly toward Mira. I collapsed to the ground, the energy erupting around me in a burst of dark light. I was on the edge of complete collapse, and would the darkness win, or could I fight it back? For a split second, my crimson eyes peeked through the black. I had one last chance to fight, but would it be enough to save myself? Alicia stepped closer, ready to take control of me completely. I could feel her power reaching out, trying to bind me to her will. Mira gripped her sword tight, ready to fight both Alicia and the darkness in me. She wouldn't let me fall without a fight. The energy around me exploded, and I could feel my consciousness slipping. This was it. Either the darkness took me, or I would break completely. I dropped my sword, begging her to come back to me, but she was gone, her eyes pitch black, lost to the darkness. Then she stepped out, my mom, still here, still fighting for us. She moved slow, like she knew exactly what Bella needed. For a second, I saw it, the flicker of recognition in Bella's eyes. Her eyes flickered crimson, peeking through the black void. The red bead in her chest glowed, fighting the darkness inside her. But Alicia was watching, waiting for her chance to strike. She struck without warning, red energy exploding through the air. Bella reacted fast, flipping my mom out of the way. The energy hit her square in the chest, sending her flying back. She crumpled to the ground, the red bead fading to a dim glimmer. I ran to her, my heart pounding in my throat. I pulled her into my arms, checking for any sign of life. My mom stood nearby, her zombie face soft with worry. Alicia stepped out from the trees, a cold smile on her face. I glared at her, my blood boiling with rage. But she vanished back into the trees before I could even reach for my sword. I lifted Bella into my arms, ready to get her to safety. My mom followed close behind, watching our backs as we left. Then I felt it, her finger twitched, just for a second. A spark of hope lit in my chest. She was still in there. We walked out of the park, one step at a time, toward any hope of help. But I knew this wasn't over. Alicia would be back, and she wouldn't stop. When that zombie lunged for Bella, I didn't hesitate. My sword sliced through the air without mercy. Then my mom stepped forward, shielding Bella like she used to shield me back in the day. The survivors had enough. They charged Alicia, ready to make her pay for her crimes. Alicia didn't stand her ground. She turned and ran, vanishing into the trees. We thought the fight was over, that we'd finally won. But Bella looked pale, like something was very wrong. I rushed to help Bella stand, my hand on her shoulder to steady her. That's when I saw it. The bye-bye marks on her shoulder, they weren't staying put. They were spreading, crawling upward. Slowly, inch by inch, they crept toward her neck, glowing faintly crimson like that cursed bead in her chest. My mom noticed too, her eyes widening with fear. What was this new horror Alicia had unleashed? The red bead in her chest pulsed in time with the spreading marks, like they were connected by some dark magic. The survivor leader approached, his face grim. I've never seen anything like this. What does it mean? I squeezed Bella's hand, trying to give her strength. We'll figure this out. We always do. But I wasn't as sure as I sounded. I didn't know it then, but Alicia wasn't gone. She was watching, waiting for her plan to unfold. Bella winced, her crimson eyes dimming. I can feel it, Mira. It's spreading inside me too. My mom helped Bella sit, while I scanned the trees, my sword ready. We weren't safe. Not yet. That scar on my cheek? It's from the first day of this mess. I swore I'd never let anyone I care about get hurt again. The survivors gathered around, whispering among themselves. Fear was in their eyes. fear that the curse wasn't over. I looked down at her arm. Those marks were spreading faster now, creeping toward her wrist. Time was running out. I stepped in front of Bella, shielding her from their worried stares. Back off. She's still our ally. We'll fix this. The sun began to set, painting the sky in blood-red hues. We had no idea what was coming next, but we were ready to fight. We finally reached the survivor camp at dusk safe, but Bella was still on edge. The camp was rough but warm, with survivors moving around the crackling fire. Then one survivor stepped forward, holding a bowl of stew like an offering. I held my breath. Would they trust her? Or would this end badly? The silence stretched on, thick with unspoken fear and hope. Then Bella reached out slow, deliberate, like she was testing the air. She sniffed the stew first, her undead senses picking up every scent. And then she took a bite, a small, careful bite. The survivor's face lit up relief, flooding their features. Slowly, others gathered, their weapons lowered, their guard coming down. For the first time in weeks, there was a hint of peace in this broken world. I moved to sit beside Bella, my hand brushing the markings on her neck. That's when it happened. Something cold, dark, flared under my touch. Bella's eyes snapped open, no longer crimson, but pure, empty black. My blood ran cold. I knew that look. The dark half was still there, waiting. Then it passed. Her eyes flickered back to crimson, and she gasped like she'd been drowning. The survivors froze, their newfound trust wavering in the sudden tension. Bella clutched the red bead in her chest, like it was the only thing holding her together. I grabbed her hand, squeezing tight. We weren't losing her, not today. Slowly, the tension broke, but I knew the darkness wasn't gone. It was just waiting. The stew smelled of herbs and cooked meat simple, but it felt like a gift. Her fingers were cold as ice, even through the warm ceramic of the bowl. One by one, the survivors lowered their guns and knives trust, fragile but real. The camp had supplies stacked in crates, weapons lined up by the tents. My cheek burned under the scar, a reminder of all we'd lost, and all we had to protect. Mirabella lay at Bella's feet, quiet but alert. She felt the darkness too. The Babayan markings on her neck glowed faintly, like they were fighting the dark. Another survivor brought bread, their hands steady now, no more fear. For a little while, it felt like we were just people, no undead, no survivors, just us. But when I looked at Bella's eyes, I saw it, the dark flicker, still there. The fire cracked and popped, sending sparks up into the darkening sky. The survivors' boots were scuffed and worn, proof they'd been fighting just as hard as us. I kept my hand near my sword. Old habits die hard, especially in a world like this. The camp was surrounded by a wooden fence, crude but effective against strays. The red bead in her chest glowed softly, a constant hum of power under her skin. The survivors laughed and talked, their voices loud and alive for the first time in ages. Mirabella's ears perked up at a distant sound, something in the woods, watching. I followed her gaze into the woods, my blood cold what was out there. The woods were dark and still, but I could feel eyes on us, watching, waiting. But Bella gave me a small smile, like she was telling me it was okay for now. A survivor clapped Bella on the shoulder, grinning trust fully earned. Bella nodded, her crimson eyes warm. She was more than an undead queen here. We all gathered around the fire, a strange, broken family, but a family all the same. I held Bella's hand tighter, promising we'd get through this together. The firelight danced on Bella's face, turning her crimson eyes to gold for a moment. The weapons were still there, but they felt less like a threat now. A survivor handed me a canteen, no questions asked. We were all in this together now. Above us, the stars came out, bright and clear. For the first time, I dared to hope. But then the darkness flickered in her eyes again, reminding me the fight wasn't over. We stayed by the fire, watching, waiting, ready for whatever came next. Late at night, I noticed Bella slipping away from our camp without a word. I didn't hesitate. Quietly, I followed her into the dark woods. My heart raced. Where was she going at this hour? Who was she meeting? I stayed hidden, careful not to make a sound, not to let her know I was there. She stopped by an old oak tree, like she was waiting for someone. Who could it be? Her face told me everything. She wasn't scared. She was hopeful. Hopeful to see someone. Then I saw her, Bella's mom. She'd turned, but she still recognized her own daughter. Bella broke down in tears. Her mom was here. Even as a zombie, she remembered her. Slowly, carefully, Bella stepped forward. Her mom touched her face, gentle despite her rotting skin. I stood there, hidden, my throat tight. I never thought Bella would see her mom again. Then her mom started using hand gestures, talking in a way only Bella could understand. What she said made Bella freeze. Her eyes went wide with shock, like she'd just learned the universe's biggest secret. The red bead in Bella's chest, it wasn't for controlling zombies. It was for bringing the dead back to life. And Bella, she was the key, the one who could make this impossible magic happen. They hugged, and in that moment, the zombie apocalypse felt like it didn't matter. All that mattered was this reunion. Her mom's eyes told the truth. She believed in Bella. She believed we could fix this broken world. The moonlight wrapped around them, like the world was holding its breath to let this moment last. I knew then, our mission wasn't just survival anymore. It was to make this impossible thing real. I slowly backed away, letting them have this moment. I'd wait for her to come back, then we'd plan our next move. As I walked back to camp, I knew everything had changed. This secret would rewrite our future. The red bead in Bella's chest glowed brighter than ever, like it was waking up to its true purpose. Her mom's cold hand rested over the bead, like she was channeling all her hope into it. I had so many questions, but one thing was clear: I'd stand with Bella, no matter what it took. I headed back to camp, my mind racing. When Bella returned, we'd face this together, no matter how hard it got. That night, in the woods, a secret was shared. A secret that could bring back the dead and heal our broken world. I thought the night would bring peace, until Macy stepped out from the shadows, holding a secret. She pressed Alicia's old lab journal into my hands, her rotting fingers trembling with urgency. The journal held a truth I never expected. Destroying my dark half wasn't the answer. To master the red bead's power, I had to merge with my darkness, not destroy it. Just as I processed the truth, Anastasia stepped forward, her eyes filled with understanding. Mirabella's low growl cut through the quiet. Something was wrong, something dangerous. A bright explosion lit the horizon. Alicia had found us, and she wasn't alone. The camp erupted into chaos. Everyone grabbed their weapons, ready to fight for our home. The red bead in my chest hummed to life, its crimson light spreading across my skin. I could see them now, hundreds of zombies, shambling toward our camp like a tidal wave. Alicia stood at the front, her cold gray eyes fixed on me, a cruel smile twisting her lips. She raised a hand, and the horde froze, waiting for her command to destroy us all. I stepped forward, the red bead's light growing brighter, ready to face what was coming. Anastasia placed a hand on my shoulder. We weren't going to face this alone. Macy joined us, her rotting face set with determination. We were ready. The survivors rallied behind us. We were no longer just a group, we were a family. Alicia's hand fell, and the horde began to move slow, relentless, unstoppable. I closed my eyes, letting the darkness rise within me. This was the only way to save us. Crimson energy erupted from me, forming a shield around our camp, pushing the darkness back. Alicia's face twisted into shock. She never expected I could master the darkness this way. The energy pushed the horde back, giving us a moment to breathe, to prepare for what came next. The fusion had begun. I could feel my dark half merging with me, making me stronger than ever. Anastasia and Macy shared a nod. We had a plan, and we were going to win this. Mirabella stayed close, her ears always listening, ready to warn us the second danger approached. Alicia wasn't done. She regrouped the horde, her face filled with rage, ready to attack again. I thought we had peace, but the night tore it all away in seconds. Zombies flooded into our camp, dozens of them, their eyes glowing eerie crimson. I watched Bella raise her hand, desperate to take control, but they ignored her. I grabbed my sword, fighting to protect our home as chaos erupted around us. The camp descended into pure chaos, and I realized something was terribly wrong. That's when I saw it. Their eyes glowed the same crimson as Bella's red bead. Bella's eyes shifted from crimson to pitch black. The darkness in her had taken over. She raised her hand, and the air grew heavy with dark, suffocating energy. Then the impossible happened. The zombies turned, marching straight for Alicia. Alicia's smirk vanished. For the first time, she looked truly terrified. Even Mirabella sensed the shift, growling low at the dark figure Bella had become. The horde closed in on her, and I watched her fumble for a syringe in her pocket. Bella spoke in a voice I barely recognized, deep, rough, full of dark power. Her syringe slipped and shattered, the purple poison spilling into the dirt. I stood with the others, frozen, as zombies turned on their creator. Bella stood tall like a dark queen, watching her army corner her enemy. My mom, still half zombie, looked confused. She didn't understand Bella's change. Bella's mom trembled on the edge, watching her daughter become something unrecognizable. I walked toward Bella, sword in hand, but I couldn't bring myself to fight her. For a split second, I saw her old self fighting to break through the darkness. Alicia saw her chance and ran, vanishing before the zombies could tear her apart. The zombies froze at Bella's command, standing still like statues, crimson eyes bright. The red bead in her chest glowed faintly, fighting to pull her back to us. We all stood silent, wondering if the Bella we knew would ever return. Bella turned and walked toward the camp edge, the zombies following like loyal subjects. I thought we were safe, until Bella's eyes turned pitch black that night in our camp. She led every rotting creature straight for Alicia, no trace of the girl I cared about left. I lunged through the clawing zombies, ignoring the danger, just to grab her arm. I wrenched her back, screaming her name over the zombies' snarls and chaos. For a split second, her black eyes flickered back to crimson. My friend was there again. But Alicia wasn't done. She unleashed her red energy, targeting both of us directly. Before I could move, two figures stepped between us, our moms, risking everything to save us. The energy slammed into them with a deafening crack, sending them flying backward. They hit the ground hard, and I watched the warmth drain from their bodies. When they stood up, their eyes were empty. All the memories we'd fought to protect, gone. My mom, who'd held on to her love for me through everything, was just a mindless zombie now. Bella's mom shambled away too, ignoring her daughter's cries like she didn't even know her. I stood frozen, staring at the two people who'd saved us, now completely lost to the curse. Bella sprinted after her mom, screaming, but Macy just kept walking, no sign of recognition. Alicia stood on the hill, smiling cruelly. She'd taken everything from us, for now. But I tightened my grip on my sword. I wouldn't let this be the end of our fight. The zombies still circled, their hunger unending. We were broken, but we weren't defeated yet. Bella's eyes glowed, again not black, but a fierce crimson. She wasn't giving up either. We stood back to back, ready to fight for our moms, for our home, for any hope left. The night was far from over, but this time, we knew exactly what we were fighting to get back. And for a split second, I saw it just a flicker. They weren't completely gone. We could save them. The zombies closed in, but we didn't flinch. This was just the start of our greatest fight yet. I watched my mom and Mira's mom wander off, empty-eyed, my heart shattered. They didn't recognize us anymore. The cure had stolen their memories, not just the rot. I couldn't let this be the end. Not for them, not for us. I made the choice. I'd merge with my dark half, no matter the cost. The camp went silent. Everyone could feel the shift in the air. The red bead in my chest pulsed in time with my heart. It was ready to merge. My eyes shifted crimson, mixing with my natural brown. The darkness and light were one now. My skin warmed up again, no longer cold as death. I felt human, yet more powerful. I raised my hand, and every zombie in the camp froze. They were mine to command again. Their milky eyes burned crimson, matching mine. The control was total, unbreakable. They turned as one, their rotting bodies now perfectly obedient. No more chaos, no more hunger. Alicia stumbled back, clutching her chest. My power hit her like a tidal wave. Her own power was turning against her. The price of messing with forces she didn't understand. I stood tall, surrounded by my undead army. I was no longer just a girl with a bead. I was a queen. Red energy flickered at my fingertips, a mix of the bead's power and my own new strength. The survivors stared, shocked, then hopeful. Maybe this was the future we'd been fighting for. But Mira's face was tight with worry. She saw the cost of this power. She stepped toward me, her sword still in hand, but not as a weapon, as a friend. We locked eyes. She didn't need to speak. I knew she'd stand with me, no matter what came next. I smiled, ready for whatever came. We were finally in control of our destiny. Zombies and humans stood side by side, united under my leadership. The old world was gone. The bead's power wasn't just in my chest anymore, it was in every part of me. My mom and Mira's mom lingered behind me, like they knew they belonged here, even if they didn't remember why. Alicia watched from the shadows, her eyes burning with resentment. She wasn't done with us yet. The camp started moving again, humans and zombies working together to build something better. I thought it was over when Alicia surrendered until Bella did the unthinkable. Instead of punishing her, Bella held out a hand, offering redemption, not war. Alicia stared, her scarred palm trembling like she couldn't believe what she saw. I held my breath, waiting for her to strike, waiting for everything to fall apart again. But then a gunshot split the quiet dawn. Someone didn't want our fragile peace to last. A rogue survivor, hidden in the trees, had a gun aimed straight for Bella's chest. The bullet flew fast, glinting in the sun, headed straight for the red bead in her chest. I didn't think I moved, pushing Bella out of the way before I even realized what I was doing. My body moved on its own here, every training drill kicking in to save the person I care about most. The bullet hit my shoulder, burning hot, and everything went white for a second. I could feel blood soaking through my jacket, but all I cared about was Bella being safe. Bella's power exploded around her, her eyes flaring crimson as she realized what had happened. The rogue survivor turned to run, but Bella's power already locked onto him. With a single gesture, Bella lifted him off the ground, trapping him, making him pay. Alicia didn't hesitate. She ran to my side, pulling out a first aid kit from her pocket. She worked fast, her hands steady like she'd been waiting to make amends for so long. The camp gathered around, humans and zombies alike, showing our harmony was stronger than hate. But as Bella stared at him, I saw pity in her eyes, not rage. She dropped him to the ground, not killing him, but giving him a chance to change too. In that moment, I knew we'd won not just the fight, but the war for a better world. Bella placed a hand on my shoulder, and a warm red glow started healing my wound. The camp cheered, our victory proof that humans and zombies could truly live in harmony. I thought the worst was over, until one of our own turned against us. He'd been with us for weeks. Then, he tried to shoot Bella. He didn't stand a chance against Bella's power. Alicia moved fast, not to hurt him, but to stop the cycle of violence. Then something even more amazing happened. She grabbed his gun and snapped it in half with her bare hands. No more weapons, no more bloodshed. My mom's eyes, they weren't empty anymore. She recognized me. And Bella's mom, she reached for her, like she remembered everything. We finally understood the red bead's true power. It wasn't just controlling zombies, it was healing them. Rotting flesh healed, lost memories returned. He watched, tears streaming. He knew he'd messed up big time, but Bella didn't punish him. She looked at him with forgiveness. In that moment, we realized we weren't just survivors, we were family. Even Mirabella seemed to sense the change. She wagged her tail, calm for once. I stood beside her, so proud. This was the future we'd fought for. My mom touched my face. I thought I'd never feel that warmth again. Bella hugged her mom tight. It was like she'd never been gone. But we had no idea this was just the start of something bigger. The bead's power wasn't just for us. It was for every zombie in the world. We started building something real. A world where humans and zombies lived in peace. Alicia started studying the bead's power, trying to replicate it. The rogue survivor started helping, trying to make amends. We thought we were safe, but the universe had other plans. Morning light flooded our camp, but something felt different today, like healing was actually possible. We weren't just surviving anymore. Humans and zombies, standing side by side like we were finally family. Alicia stood apart, her hands clenched tight. She'd done unforgivable things, but maybe we could let go. Bella stepped toward her, no anger in her eyes, just understanding. I held my breath, waiting for what would happen next. Bella took her hand, and Alicia cried. For the first time, I thought maybe everyone could get a second chance. I glanced at the zombies lingering on the edge and froze. Their eyes weren't hungry anymore. They were curious. This wasn't mindless hunger. It was longing, and they wanted to be part of this, too. I'd spent months fighting them, killing them. Now, I didn't know what to do. They weren't monsters anymore. Even Mirabella seemed to sense it. She trotted over to a zombie, tail wagging like she was making a new friend. The zombie hesitated, then stepped closer. No one flinched. No one reached for a weapon. We just watched. A survivor held out a bowl of stew. The zombie took it, hands shaking, like he couldn't believe it was real. He took a small bite, and his whole body relaxed, like he'd forgotten what it felt like to be seen as more than a monster. Bella's red bead glowed softly, like it was celebrating too. The power that once controlled them was now helping us all heal. Alicia rolled up her sleeves and joined us, preparing food like she'd always belonged. Redemption felt possible, after all. My mom and Bella's mom stood over the fire, chatting like old friends. It was surreal, but perfect. The rogue survivor who'd shot me? He shook a zombie's hand, his face finally free of guilt. We were all broken, but together. Looking out at the camp, I realized we'd built something no one thought possible. A community where no one was left behind. Bella stood beside me, and I held her hand. For the first time in forever, I felt safe, like we'd finally found our place. Then I saw the more zombies, emerging from the trees, drawn by the sound of laughter. They wanted to join us. Bella smiled, her eyes glowing bright. She raised her hand, and the new zombies stopped, waiting. Our community was just getting started. The sun climbed higher, and for the first time in this apocalypse, I dared to hope that we could fix what was broken. I leaned against Bella, watching the chaos turn to joy. This was our new normal, and for the first time, I didn't hate it. I thought we'd finally found peace until today, when we tested our biggest gamble yet. At noon, our camp hummed with quiet hope as we prepared to rewrite zombie history. Alicia's notebook held the key to our survival if our crazy plan even worked. I walked beside Bella, my sword ready as she carried our make-or-break offering. The zombies stared at the stew like it was poison. And then, it reached out. For a heartbeat, I thought we'd fail until its fingers curled around the bowl. Alicia scribbled furiously, her pen flying across the page like our lives depended on it. One by one, more zombies stepped forward. Our plan was working. I let out a laugh I didn't know I had. We might actually pull this off. Even the zombie elders joined in, helping us feed their own kind. For the first time in years, our camp felt like a real home. But the world wasn't ready for our peace. Someone was watching. He gathered a mob of anti-zombie extremists, all ready to burn our dream to the ground. Their torches cast twisted shadows, and their shouts cut through the quiet. We were so busy celebrating our victory that we didn't see the noose tightening around us. Mirabella's snarls shattered our joy. She smelled them coming. Bella's eyes hardened. She felt the threat too. In seconds, our celebration turned to war. We had to defend our home. Alicia grabbed her notebook. Our work wasn't over, not by a long shot. The first charge hit like a storm. We had to hold on no matter what. I thought we'd finally found safety until the extremists showed up on that hill. They lined the ridge, guns and firebombs glinting like death itself. Each firebomb was a promise. They wanted to burn our home to ash. I stepped forward, letting the red bead's energy wrap around me like a shield. Our family, humans and zombies alike, stood ready to fight for our home. But the red bead started to dim, like it was draining something from me. Mira grabbed her sword, ready to stand beside me no matter what. Alicia clutched her serum, her face tight with worry for what was coming. Even our zombie family stood ready. They'd fought too hard to lose this home. My hands started to shake. I could feel the energy slipping away fast. The extremists moved forward, slow, deliberate, like they already owned the place. Mirabella stood at my feet, growling low. She knew the danger too. Their guns clicked as they flipped off the safety. No turning back now. I raised my hand, trying to unleash the bead's power to stop them. But my power fizzled out, my eyes dimmed, and I felt so weak. They launched the firebombs, trails of smoke cutting through the sky toward us. Mira moved fast, slicing one firebomb out of the air with her sword. One bomb hit the ground, sending fire and smoke billowing toward us. Our zombie family threw themselves in front of the fire, protecting the humans behind them. The red bead was almost dark now. I could feel my life force slipping away. The extremists charged, screaming like they already had victory in their grasp. I stumbled, and Mira caught me, her grip firm, her eyes full of fear for me. Alicia jammed a serum into my arm, desperation in every movement. For a second, my eyes flared bright. Again, hope surged through me. The red bead blazed to life, pulsing with a power I'd never felt before. I held that bowl of stew like it was our only hope. Bella's red bead was barely glowing now. I walked toward the extremists, their guns still aimed. Every step felt like walking on broken glass. One of them hesitated, his gun shook like he couldn't hold it steady anymore. I stopped right in front of the rogue survivor, holding out the stew like an olive branch. The whole camp held its breath. This wasn't just about stew, it was about whether we could trust each other. He finally took the bowl, his fingers shaking so bad stew sloshed over the edge. He took a bite, and for a second, his hard face softened. It was just food. Good food. Then he looked at the zombie beside him, Anastasia, my mom. He didn't flinch, he just looked. One by one, the others dropped their guns. The clatter sounded like freedom, but one of them didn't let go. His grip tightened, his eyes burning with hate. He raised his gun, slow, so slow, aiming straight for Bella's red bead, our only hope. I could see the barrel glint in the sun. Time felt like it stopped. Bella didn't flinch. Her eyes were steady, like she knew something I didn't. Then he pulled the trigger. The shot rang out, loud enough to split the sky. I watched that bullet fly straight for her chest. For a second, I thought we'd lost everything. But then, that red bead flickered bright, like it was waking up. The bullet stopped midair, right in front of the bead. It was like the power was pushing back. Everyone gasped. The zombies stopped growling. The humans stopped shaking. For a second, we all believed. The extremist's face went from hate to pure terror. He didn't expect this. None of us did. The whole camp breathed again. That bullet didn't just stop a shot, it started something new. But we still had no idea what came next. I gripped my training sword tight. Whatever came next, we'd face it together. The rogue survivor walked toward Bella, holding out a hand. Trust was a fragile thing, but we were holding on. I watched the bullet fly straight for Bella. This was supposed to be our victory. But then, Alicia moved. Faster than I'd ever seen her move. The impact hit her like a truck. She didn't even make a sound. She crumpled to the ground, her body going limp before she hit the dirt. I froze. Bella screamed, scrambling to reach her before I could move. Her hand closed around that tattered lab notebook, her life's work. She pushed it toward Bella, her voice a ragged whisper I could barely hear. Bella's fingers wrapped around it, her hands shaking so hard I thought she'd drop it. She flipped through the pages, her eyes scanning the notes she'd seen 100 times before. And then she found it. The final page, hidden beneath a loose sheet. Her face went white. I could read the words, even from where I stood. Immortality. But at the cost of everything that made her human. Alicia's eyes met hers, and I saw it, her final apology. Her hand fell away, and for a second, I thought she was gone. Bella stared at her, tears finally spilling over her cheeks. I thought back to what she'd been, our enemy, the one who started this all, and then what she became, our ally, our hope for a cure. Bella's hand went to the red bead in her chest, its glow flickering like her resolve. It pulsed, as if it knew the choice she had to make. Her eyes were a storm, part human, part the power that saved us all. The whole camp went quiet. We all waited, holding our breath. She opened her mouth, and for a second, I didn't want to hear what she'd say. But when she spoke, her voice was clear, steady, unbreakable. The notebook lay open between them, a ghost of the choice she'd just made. No matter what she chose, I knew nothing would ever be the same again. The fire crackled, but the words in this notebook? They were about to change everything. Mira knew something was wrong, she always did. She just didn't know how wrong. The red bead in my chest? It wasn't just glowing, it was waking up, demanding a choice. Mira reached for me, but stopped. She could feel the shift in the air too. The camp was busy, everyone building our new world. No one saw me slipping away from it. My skin started to glow, turning see-through. The bead's power was spreading, taking me with it. I stared into the fire, and I knew what I had to do. But would I lose myself in the process? The stars above? They seemed to be watching, waiting for my answer. My fingers brushed the bead, and I felt its call. Immortality. But at what cost? Mira grabbed her sword, ready to fight whatever came for me. She didn't know the enemy was inside me. The notebook spelled it out clearly. Immortality meant letting go of my humanity. My mom and Mira's mom cooked, laughing. They had no idea their daughter was about to make a choice no one could take back. The light grew brighter, my body fading. I could feel my human self slipping, one breath at a time. Mirabella nuzzled my leg, like she knew I might not be coming back as the person she knew. My eyes shifted crimson, mixing with gold. The choice was made, whether I liked it or not. The bead's light wrapped around my hand, and I felt my humanity slipping away, replaced by something eternal. Mira stood up, calling my name. She could see what was happening, and she was terrified of losing me. I whispered the words, quiet enough only the fire could hear. I was choosing immortality, even if it meant losing myself. The camp's warm lights mixed with my cold red glow. I was no longer just Bella. Something new was taking over. My body was almost gone. Only the bead's light left. Was this the end of my human life, or the start of something else? Mira's eyes filled with tears. She knew the person she loved was slipping away, and she couldn't stop it. The camp finally noticed. Whispers spread, but none of them knew what I was choosing. I stared in terror as Bella's body turned almost transparent. We were losing her fast. Everyone froze, even the undead. Our little safe haven was falling apart right in front of us. I grabbed that old lab notebook, desperate for answers. There had to be a way to fix this. That's when I saw it. A hidden page, scribbled with a secret I'd missed entirely. It said immortality didn't need her to lose her humanity. It required a sacrifice from someone who loved her. Bella saw my plan and shook her head violently. "No way," she mouthed. "I won't let you die for me." The red bead in her chest flickered, almost gone. She was ready to accept her fate to save us all. I grabbed her hand. It was cold as ice. "We'll find another way," I begged. "We don't have to do this." Two. Just then, the campfire sputtered out. Total darkness swallowed us whole. Something was very wrong. The sky turned black, storm clouds rolling in. Rain started pouring down, cold and unforgiving. Bella's body faded more, rain dripping off her cheeks. She gave me a sad smile, like she was saying goodbye. Mirabella ran over, pressing against her legs. Even the dog knew what was happening. Even our undead moms came over. They stood with us, silent and grieving. That page haunted me. Sacrifice from someone who loves her. I knew what I had to do. I stepped in front of her, my mind made up. "I'm doing this," I said. "I love you too much to let you die." Everyone watched, stunned. Even the zombies seemed to understand what I was about to do. Bella's eyes filled with tears, shaking her head so hard. "No, you can't!" she mouthed, voice cracking. I placed my hand on the red bead. It glowed faintly, like it was responding to my touch. Maybe this could work. Then something incredible happened. Bella's body started to solidify again. The red bead glowed brighter than ever. The storm raged on, but we had hope again. Then the ground shook, and I knew the worst wasn't over yet. Our leader grabbed his crossbow, scanning the dark. He could feel it too. Something bad was coming. The redeemed survivor grabbed his radio, his hands shaking. "I don't get any signal," he said. "Something's jamming us." Even our undead moms tensed up, their bodies ready to fight. They could sense the threat in the storm. Mirabella's ears perked up, growling low. She heard something we couldn't. Something in the dark. The ground shook harder, the storm screaming around us. We huddled together, waiting for what came next. We knew we weren't safe. I thought our safe camp would hold, until the storm unleashed pure horror. Rogue zombies flooded in, their eyes pitch black, no hint of the control we'd established. Bella tried to command them with her crimson power, but they ignored her completely. I grabbed my steel training sword, sprinting to defend our family. Then I spotted it, a towering, shadowy figure looming behind the horde. Bella's eyes widened with horror. She recognized that dark aura as her own. That thing was her evil half. We thought we'd merged it forever, but it was free. Mirabella snarled. Hackles raised, she could feel the dark power too. Even our moms, zombies themselves, stepped up to fight the rogue horde. Bella's crimson bead dimmed her dark half, was siphoning her power from afar. That twisted version of Bella grinned, its pitch-black eyes filled with hunger for our destruction. Our community fought side by side, humans and zombies, united against this new threat. Leo fired his rifle, picking off rogue zombies before they could reach our defenses. I swung my sword, slicing through a zombie's arm that got too close to Bella. Bella stepped forward, ready to face the dark version of herself we thought we'd destroyed. Her crimson bead flared to life. She wasn't going to let her dark half win. The dark Bella roared, unleashing a wave of shadowy energy toward us. We scattered, diving out of the way of the corrupt power crashing toward us. But Bella stood her ground, unleashing a wave of warm crimson light to counter it. The two forces collided in a burst of light, our hope against pure darkness. The dark Bella staggered. Our combined hope was pushing back its corruption. All of us, humans and zombies, poured our energy into Bella, fueling her light. Bella's crimson light spread, wrapping around the rogue zombies, calming their rage. The dark Bella snarled, realizing it couldn't win. Its control was slipping. I chased after it, not letting it escape to cause more chaos. But Bella called me back. She said she had to face it alone to truly end this. Bella walked toward her dark half, ready to merge it once and for all. When their hands touched, a burst of light exploded, merging the two into one. When the light faded, Bella stood there stronger, whole, with both light and dark power. Our camp erupted in cheers. We'd survived the greatest threat yet. It was midnight in our camp when she showed up, my dark self, and she was stronger than ever. The camp descended into chaos instantly, zombies swarming from every shadow. I swung my sword, cutting down feral zombies left and right, but there were too many. Alicia was patching up survivors, her serum keeping us in the fight. My dark self matched every move I made. Her powers were identical, but sharper. Her eyes were pitch black, no trace of my old warmth left in them. I kept fighting, but my arms burned with exhaustion. This wasn't sustainable. Alicia's lab coat was stained with blood, but she didn't slow down for a second. I tried to strike first, but she blocked my attack and sent me flying back. My red bead glowed, trying to channel more power, but she was already on me. She swatted my energy blast away like it was a fly. I was outmatched. Even Mirabella was fighting hard, tearing into zombies to protect us. The zombies broke through our defenses, pushing us back toward the tents. She grabbed my wrist and slammed me to the ground. The breath was knocked out of me. She raised her hand, black energy crackling around her fingers, ready to finish me off. I saw Mira charging toward us, sword raised, but she was too far away. My vision blurred, and for a second, I thought this was the end. Alicia tossed a serum vial to a survivor, who caught it and injected themselves instantly. She pressed her foot down on my chest, laughing as I struggled to breathe. The campfire flickered, casting twisted shadows on the walls as my strength faded. Our leader fired his crossbow, taking down a zombie about to attack one of us. My hand found a sharp rock on the ground, and I summoned the last of my strength. I swung the rock, hitting her in the shoulder. She staggered back, shocked I could still fight. But that only made her angrier. Her eyes turned pure black, and she roared. She unleashed a wave of dark energy, sending everyone zombies and us flying. The night screamed with chaos. Bella was dying, and I had to get to her now. The camp was a mess of fear. Everyone knew this could be our final end. Her dark half was winning, draining her life right in front of my eyes. My boots hit the dirt hard every second, felt like an eternity of dread. I grabbed her hand, praying my touch could pull her back from the dark abyss. Then it started. Our leader released his energy, a glow of hope in the dark. One by one, everyone joined, humans and zombies, all fighting to save her together. The energy merged into a single beam, rushing straight for Bella's fading body. Her eyes flickered black, fading to bright crimson, like a light turning on in the dark. She was changing, merging with her dark half, becoming something new, something stronger. Her dark half dissolved into smoke, finally gone for good, vanished completely. The feral zombies stopped their growling, their eyes clearing, their sanity returning. The chaos ended. The zombies were calm, one with us now. No more violence. But the cost was huge. Her red bead was fading, losing its light faster than I could blink. Her body shook, like she could barely stand. I grabbed her, trying to keep her from falling. The bead vanished entirely, and Bella crumpled to the ground, completely unconscious. When I looked at her face, I realized she was human again, just plain, ordinary human. Our mothers came over, their eyes soft with relief and love for their daughter. I held her hand, feeling her warm skin. We'd done it. We'd actually saved her. The camp erupted in cheers, human and zombie, all one family, all celebrating our hard-won win. Mirabella bounded over, licking Bella's face like she knew everything was okay now. Even Alicia was there, watching with a small, genuine smile on her face. The rogue survivor who once fought us stood with our leader, united now. Everyone got to work building tents, sharing supplies. No more us versus them. The night quieted down, and for the first time in forever, we felt truly safe. When I woke up at dawn, my crimson eyes were gone. Finally human, finally free. Mira tackled me in a hug, tears mixing with the rain on both our faces. The whole camp cheered, humans and zombies together, finally united as family. Even Mirabella joined in, her tail wagging so fast it blurred. For the first time in months, we felt hope, real, unshakable hope. Then we heard it, the distant thrum of helicopter rotors, getting closer fast. Faces fell, we feared it was another attack, another wave of destruction. But this wasn't an enemy chopper, this was a military helicopter, bearing the US Army insignia. It landed in the center of the square, kicking up clouds of dust as we shielded our eyes. When the door opened, a young soldier stepped out, Leo, Alicia's former protege. Alicia froze. She'd thought Leo was dead, lost in the early days of the outbreak. He walked straight to her, holding out his hand. She stared, then took it, tears in her eyes. He pulled out his radio, his voice steady, as he spoke to his superiors. He'd been searching for her for months, ever since she went rogue to create the cure. He told us the military was no longer hunting zombies, they wanted to help, to spread our harmony. I pressed a hand to my chest. No red bead, no power, just warm, human skin. Alicia and Leo showed us their work, new antidotes, better serums, hope for every zombie left. Our camp leader shook Leo's hand, promising to help spread our message of peace. Even Mirabella approved, licking Leo's hand like he'd been part of our pack all along. In that moment, I knew we'd done it. We'd built a world where everyone belonged, no matter what. Alicia showed us her old lab notes, filled with cures we'd never even dreamed of. My mom and Bella's mom joined us, their steps slow but steady, their eyes warm with pride. I hugged my mom tight, finally able to hold her without fear of losing her again. Bella held her mom too, tears streaming down both their faces as they clung to each other. We started preparing a feast, everyone working together, no more us versus them, just us. I tensed when that military chopper descended. We had no idea if they were friend or foe. The whole camp held its breath as the rotors slowed, our weapons still ready just in case. Then he stepped out sharp, military, and his eyes locked straight on Alicia. I watched him stride toward Alicia, his posture rigid like he was seeing a ghost. The crowd parted for them, and I felt the tension in the air shift. This wasn't an attack. His voice cracked. When he spoke, he called her mentor. I didn't know Alicia had been anyone's teacher. Alicia froze, then her face softened. She remembered him, her old protege, Leo. their hands clasped tight, and I realized this wasn't just a chance meeting, it was a lifeline. Leo's eyes widened as he walked through our camp. He'd never seen humans and zombies work together. We built this fragile harmony out of chaos, and he was the first outsider to see it without fear. I saw it in his eyes. He didn't just believe us, he wanted to help us spread this hope. He brought supplies, crates of food, medicine, building materials we'd been starving for, and technology serums to heal zombies faster, to make them stronger, to keep our community safe. Our leader shook his hand hard, ready to share our story, to let the world know we'd found a way. We gathered around his map, marking other communities where people still fought for survival. We weren't alone anymore. Every red dot was a place where people were still suffering, places we could help, places we could save. Even the zombies gathered close, their eyes no longer empty. They understood we were building something bigger. My mom and Bella's mom cooked alongside humans, the smell of stew filling the air like normal times. Even Mirabella took to him, greeting him like an old friend. For the first time, hope felt real. As we celebrated, I knew this was just the beginning. We were going to change the world, one community at a time. Leo pulled out his radio, reaching out to other military units. We weren't just saving ourselves anymore. The crackle of a reply came back. Others had seen our work. Others wanted to join us. We mapped out our first mission, planning to take our harmony to the nearest struggling community. That night, as the fire burned low, I felt it. For the first time in months, I didn't fear the dark. We'd fought so hard for this peace, and now we had the chance to share it with the whole world. It's midday in our camp, and Bella's hiding a new power I never saw coming. We're building together now, humans and undead, side by side, no more fighting. But today, she's not just our leader, she's become something far more powerful. I watched her walk toward a rotting zombie, her hand outstretched like she was offering hope. Everyone stopped watching. Holding our breath, we had no clue what would happen next. The second their hands touched, a warm red light burst out, and I knew this was no trick. The zombie's rotting skin healed right before our eyes, scars fading, flesh regrowing. Its empty eyes cleared up, like it was remembering how to be human again. Alicia and Leo stared in shock. Even they had no idea this was possible. That red bead in her chest, it didn't just give her power, it spread through her entire body. She didn't stop there, she walked to another zombie, ready to heal it too. The crowd closed in, watching as she healed zombie after zombie, one by one. Even Mirabella seemed to understand, her tail wagging like she knew we'd found a miracle. Even my mom and Bella's mom, they started healing too, their rotting skin regrowing. Her eyes glowed with that mix of crimson and brown, like she was one with the healing energy now. The camp erupted in cheers. We weren't just survivors anymore, we were a real community. Alicia checked her old notes, and she realized this power was spreading, not fading. I walked up to her, so proud I could barely speak. She'd given us all a second chance. And then we saw them more zombies, walking toward us, and Bella didn't hesitate. She walked toward them, that warm red light wrapping around her, ready to heal every last one. The red light spread through the crowd, healing every zombie it touched, and I knew this was only the beginning. Her power was growing, getting stronger with every zombie she healed. Leo called headquarters, telling them about the miracle happening right here. My mom and Bella's mom hugged, finally whole again after all this time. As the sun kept shining, I knew we'd built something unbreakable harmony between living and dead. We finally built our peaceful world, where humans and zombies lived as one. I thought the worst was behind us. We were so wrong. A low growl cut through the air. Something was very wrong. It burst from the trees, covered in bite marks, eyes pitch black with unbridled rage. It went straight for the humans, ignoring every truce we'd established. Bella raised her hand, trying to calm it with her red bead's power. But it didn't stop. It didn't even slow. Bella's power was useless against it. I didn't hesitate. I grabbed my sword and stood between it and the others. I swung my sword, but it moved faster than any zombie we'd ever faced. Alicia shoved past me with a syringe she needed a sample to analyze. She plunged the needle in. The blood was thick, black, completely raw. With help from our zombie allies, we finally pinned it down. The camp went quiet, but we all knew this was just the start. Alicia rushed to our lab, her hands shaking as she worked. What she saw made her go pale. It was a new strain of the curse. It wasn't a mutation, it was a designed curse to turn zombies feral again. Then we heard more growls, echoing from the woods beyond our walls. They poured out of the trees, all with pitch black eyes, all feral, all hungry. We grabbed every weapon we had. The peace we'd built was about to shatter. Bella's eyes flared, mixing crimson and brown. We would fight for our home, no matter what. Even the rogue survivor, who once betrayed us, stood ready to fight with us. The zombies surrounded us, growling loud. And we knew the real fight had only just begun. The feral zombies are closing in, and this time, they're faster, deadlier. They're swarming the camp by the dozens. We can't outrun this. I tried to use my power to stop them, but nothing happened. It's like they can't hear me. Mira didn't hesitate. She cut through them like they were nothing, buying us time. Leo got to work, herding people into a makeshift quarantine zone. We had to hold the line. My red bead felt cold, useless. For the first time, I felt truly powerless. Alicia and Leo moved into the lab, racing to make an antidote. But time wasn't on our side. Her hands shook as she grabbed the vials. We both knew what was at stake. The zombies kept coming, piling against the barriers. We could hear the wood splintering. Mira was everywhere at once, plugging gaps, taking down any zombie that broke through. I couldn't just stand there. I had to do something, anything, but my power was gone. The lab was our only hope, and the zombies were closing in on it too. We were trapped. Leo tried to call for backup, but the line was dead. No one was coming to save us. She injected the serum into the sample. We held our breath, waiting for a reaction, but nothing changed. The cells kept multiplying. Our first try was a failure. Then the barrier broke. They poured in, and the camp descended into chaos. Mira charged into the fray, cutting down zombies left and right, her sword stained black. I threw myself in front of a survivor. Even though I had no power left, I had to try. The camp was burning, the fighting was everywhere, and still, Alicia didn't stop working. And then, even more came. We were outnumbered, outmatched, and running out of time. Alicia switched formulas, working faster now, like she was possessed by desperation. Then, my bead flickered. A faint, weak light, like it was fighting to come back. Mira herded us toward the lab, fighting every step of the way. We were running out of room to run. Leo held the lab door open, fighting off zombies as we scrambled inside. We slammed the door shut, but we knew it wouldn't hold forever. We were safe for now, but only for now. The feral zombies broke through our camp's perimeter last night. We were totally unprepared. Chaos erupted instantly. Humans and zombies alike fought to hold the line, but we were outnumbered. Then Bella stepped forward. I could see she was already pushing her powers to the limit. Her red light spread out, trying to purify the feral zombies, to calm their unrelenting rage. But the cost was too high. Her body started to fade, becoming see-through right before my eyes. I felt my blood run cold. I couldn't lose her, not after everything we'd been through. Alicia and Leo sprinted over with their lab supplies, desperate to help her hold on. Some zombies started to calm down. Her power was working, even if it was killing her. Bella's mom and mine fought side by side, keeping the remaining zombies away from her. But her light kept fading. Soon, she'd be gone completely if we didn't do something fast. Bella pressed her hand to her chest, fighting to gather what little power she had left. Everyone watched her humans and cured zombies alike, praying she'd pull through. Leo mixed up a defensive serum, hoping it could stabilize her fading form. Alicia injected the serum while I held Bella up, my hands shaking so bad I could barely stand. For a split second, her red light flared bright, and she stopped fading. We thought we'd won, but it only lasted a moment. Her body started to fade again, faster this time. Mirabella nuzzled her hand, as if begging her not to leave us. It broke my heart. She looked at me and smiled, like she was ready to let go. I couldn't let that happen. I grabbed her hands, pouring every ounce of my strength and resolve into her, begging her to stay. Then something incredible happened. A warm, golden light mixed with her red glow, and she stopped fading. The remaining feral zombies collapsed, fully cured. Her final burst of power had saved them all. The camp erupted in cheers. We were safe. She'd saved us all, even when it cost her everything. I watched as Bella's body blazed with red light, spreading through the camp like wildfire. One by one, the feral zombies' pitch-black eyes shifted to crimson. They were coming back to their senses. Alicia and Leo finally had the antidote, their hands shaking with relief and urgency. Leo moved quickly, injecting the serum into the closest zombie, waiting for the miracle to take hold. But as the light faded, Bella collapsed to the ground, her body going limp in the grass. When she finally woke, her eyes weren't just crimson anymore. They held warm brown flecks too. I touched her cheek, shocked to find her skin warm again, no longer cold as death. The zombies weren't mindless monsters now. They stood calmly, looking at us with recognition. Alicia rushed over, holding a vial of the last serum, her eyes wide with awe. Every human and zombie in the camp turned to her, hope shining in their eyes. The babine marks on her arm glowed faintly, proof the red bead's power was still with her. She stood slowly, and everyone stepped back, making a path for their new leader. Mirabella bounded over, her tail wagging so fast it blurred, confirming Bella was truly back. As she walked toward the zombies, they bowed their heads, acknowledging her as their queen. In that moment, I knew we'd built something no one thought possible. True harmony. Alicia smiled, tears in her eyes. Her work had finally saved us all. Leo's crackle radio burst to life, bringing news that would change everything. Bella raised her hand, and red light spread again, calming any lingering fear in the air. The survivor leader stepped forward, offering his hand in a gesture of trust. By the fire, humans and zombies laughed together. We were no longer enemies. We were family. The red bead in her chest no longer blazed. It had become part of her, one with her soul. The zombies helped carry supplies, their movements slow but purposeful, no trace of their feral past. I placed my hand on her shoulder, ready to face whatever came next by her side. Bella stared at the horizon, her gaze filled with resolve. Our work was only just beginning. The Undead Harmony flag waved in the wind, a symbol of hope for the world beyond our camp. Dawn broke over our new community square, and for the first time, we dared to hope. Humans and zombies cheering side by side, something I once thought was impossible. But then, I spotted him, the rogue survivor, now a zombie, watching us with regret. He stepped forward, hands raised like he was begging for a second chance. The cheers died, Every single person, human and zombie, stared at him, uncertain. I looked at Bella. Even with her powers, she wasn't sure what to do. My hand tightened on my sword. This man had once tried to kill us. Could we trust him? The crowd murmured, humans furious, zombies uncertain, all wondering the same thing. His hands trembled. Proof he remembered what he'd done. Proof he was sorry. Then my mom stepped forward. She, of all people, knew what second chances meant. Bella walked toward him, her steps slow, like she was weighing every choice. She held out her hand, like she was offering the one thing he needed most, forgiveness. He hesitated, then took her hand. For a second, I thought he'd pull away. The crowd let out a cheer. Not a loud one, more like a sigh of relief. I lowered my sword. Maybe, second chances were possible, after all. Bella's mom joined her, smiling like she knew this was the right choice. He stood tall, like a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. Even Mirabella seemed to forgive him. She ran over and licked his hand. The party started again, bigger and brighter than before. We were all family now. But as I laughed, I saw Bella's face fall. She was looking at the trees, like she sensed something wrong. I never thought we'd get to this moment, forgiving the man who once tried to kill us. But Bella saw something in him that I couldn't remorse, and the will to change. He'd spent days watching us, proving he was ready to atone for his crimes. Today was the day we'd finally decide his fate. She didn't hesitate. She took his hand, and in that moment, we welcomed him home. A warm glow spread from her hand to his proof. Our trust wasn't misplaced. But trust wasn't enough. We needed to heal his body too. Alicia had spent days perfecting the antidote to reverse the feral infection. She'd never been one to give up on anyone, even those who'd wronged her. Within seconds, his rotting skin began to heal, the infection fading away. He stared at his hands in disbelief, finally feeling like a human again. But our celebration was cut short by a sound we never expected: helicopter rotors. We tensed up. We thought it was the military, come to destroy everything we'd built. But as it landed, we saw the logos, not military, but news organizations. Reporters spilled out, cameras rolling, staring in awe at our community of humans and zombies living in harmony. They couldn't believe what they were seeing, proof that harmony was possible, even after the apocalypse. Bella stepped forward, ready to tell our story to the entire world. This wasn't just our story, it was a message to every survivor that hope wasn't lost. We'd gone from a ragtag group of survivors to a symbol of hope for the entire world. And the man who once tried to kill us? He was now our ally, ready to help us spread the truth. Even our mothers, once trapped as zombies, were part of this new world we'd built. As for me, I stood there, ready to protect this new family we'd found, no matter what came next. Even Mirabella seemed to know something big was happening. Her tail held high, alert but calm. In that moment, I realized we'd done the impossible. We'd turned the apocalypse into a second chance for everyone. This is our home, a place where humans and zombies live as one. We work side by side. No more fear, no more hate. Today, journalists came to tell our story to the world. They listened to every story, even those from former enemies. Then it was my turn to tell the story of how we got here. I told them about the red bead, the curse, and the battle to take back my humanity. The red bead's power didn't just control zombies, it gave us hope. Mira never left my side, always ready to protect me. They wrote every word, every detail of our impossible harmony. Even human survivors shared how we learned to trust each other. This is our community, something no one thought possible. But then one of them pulled me aside with a grave look on his face. He told me the anti-zombie extremists had seen our stories and they were coming for us. My eyes hardened. We'd come too far to let hate destroy what we built. Mira's hand tightened on her sword. We were ready to defend our home. Word spread quickly, and everyone sprang into action, humans and zombies alike. Our flag still stood tall. Undead harmony, our promise to each other. This wasn't just a fight for survival, it was a fight for our way of life. We were no longer just survivors. We were a family. Mira and I locked eyes. Whatever came, we'd face it together. Even our mothers stood with us, ready to fight for what we'd built. The sun began to set, but we didn't stop. We had a home to defend. Somewhere in the distance, the threat was growing closer, but we didn't run. We stood our ground, ready for whatever came next. Our harmony wouldn't be destroyed. We'd fight to protect it, no matter what. The afternoon sun blazes, and every one of us knows what's coming. We're fighting back, not just surviving. Zombies and humans, side by side. We buried our hatred to protect what we built. Today, we defended. Every stake, every nail, we turned this camp into a fortress. No one breaks through easily. Even our mothers fight with us. They didn't lose strength. When they turned, they found purpose. Look at us living and undead, bound by something stronger than fear. We were a family. Alicia is no longer our enemy. She's our scientist, crafting serum to make our zombie allies stronger. Leo, our military contact, helps her. Together, they turn formulas into our greatest weapon. He's seen what we can be. He's not here to wipe us out, he's here to stand with us. She uses her old research to save us. Irony? Maybe. But we'll take every win we can get. In here, we craft hope. Out there, we build walls. But we know hope alone won't stop what's coming. Bella leads the drills. She teaches zombies and humans to fight as one, to trust each other completely. It's a sight no one thought possible. Zombies protecting, humans fighting alongside. We're not two groups anymore. One hand cold, one warm, but both holding tight. We were one, bound by more than survival. Bella's not just our leader, she's our bridge. Without her, none of this would ever work. We were ready for extremists, ready for their hate, but we weren't ready for what came next. A cloud of dust on the horizon, moving fast, too fast for just a group of humans. We stopped, drills forgotten, building paused. We all knew that shuffle, that roar. We weren't ready for this. Bella's eyes flared. She could sense them feral zombies, hundreds, herded by the extremists. We ran to the watchtower, hoping we were wrong, hoping the dust was just wind, just nothing. But we weren't wrong. They were coming feral, hungry, straight for us. We had to fight for everything. I gripped my sword tighter. Fear, yes, but more than that, determination. We wouldn't let them take our home. Alicia and Leo rushed to distribute serum. Every zombie would need it to stand against their feral kin. That red liquid wasn't just serum. It was our chance to level the playing field, to win this fight. Even our former enemy helped. He'd found his place here, just like the rest of us. We were all family. And we were ready for the fight, ready for whatever came after. Together, we were unstoppable. It started like any evening, until feral zombies slammed into our community walls. And then we saw them, extremists, firing at us from behind the horde. Bella raised her hand to take control. Something was very wrong. The zombies didn't stop. Their eyes glowed, controlled by some device. Alicia and Leo had a plan. Our last hope was in that antidote cannon. That cannon wasn't loaded with ammo, just the antidote that might save us. Alicia pulled the trigger, and antidote exploded into the horde. Some zombies stopped, their feral rage faded, humanity returning. They turned on the extremists, fighting back against their controllers. But one feral zombie broke free, its focus fixed only on Bella. Its eyes were pure black, no humanity left, just hunger and rage. Bella raised her hand to push it back, but her strength was fading. I didn't think my sword was in my hand, ready to intercept. My boots hit the grass hard, every step closer to that monster. Alicia reloaded, Leo covering her, but time was running out fast. Its claws were inches from her face. Bella couldn't hold on much longer. Then my mom and Bella's mom joined in, ready to fight beside us. They distracted it, giving me the opening I needed to strike. I swung my sword as hard as I could, aiming straight for its head. It staggered back, but it wasn't dead. We were far from safe yet. Alicia jammed another antidote canister into the cannon, her hands shaking. Leo kept firing, picking off extremists trying to flank us. Bella stood up, channeling every ounce of the red bead's power. The red bead's energy wrapped around it. We had one chance to save it. Alicia fired. An antidote hit the zombie directly. Well, it worked. I thought it was over, until a feral zombie lunged straight for Bella's throat. Then he moved faster than I ever thought possible, throwing himself between her and certain death. The zombie's teeth sank into his chest. I froze, helpless to stop it. Bella's eyes blazed crimson. Her power erupted before I could blink. The feral zombie dissolved into ash, blown away by the wind in an instant. Alicia was already moving, syringe full of antidote in her hand. She plunged the needle into his arm, pushing the antidote into his veins. Slowly, the bleeding stopped. His wound began to knit itself closed. His eyes fluttered open, clear and free of the feral haze. The crowd erupted in cheers, humans and zombies alike, united in relief. I couldn't hold back the tears. He was alive, truly alive. Even Mirabella knew. She nuzzled his hand, accepting it fully. He stood, staring at Bella with eyes full of gratitude he couldn't put into words. Bella took his hand, welcoming him into our family without a second thought. The leader stepped forward, clapping him on the shoulder. Trust earned, fully and completely. We stood together, no more divides, no more fear. We were finally one. Alicia caught Leo's eye, and they shared a smile, proof that even the worst can be redeemed. The blood on his jacket faded, as if the past was finally being washed away. I walked to Bella, clapping her shoulder. We'd done the impossible again. The sun set, painting the sky gold. For the first time in forever, we felt truly safe. Even the gentle jingle of Mirabella's bell felt like a promise of better days. Bella's eyes, half crimson, half brown, held all the light we needed to keep going. Looking out over the ruins, I could see it, hope growing stronger with every passing moment. Victory should have been our happy ending, but I saw the light fading from Bella's eyes. We built this harmony from ashes, thought it'd last forever, until now. Her red bead, our only shield against the curse, was dimming fast. I raced to her, my chest tight with a fear I thought I'd left behind. The cheers died down. As everyone saw what I did, the curse wasn't gone. It was waiting. She whispered the truth. The bead's energy was almost gone, drained by our fights. Alicia and Leo stared at their serum vials, knowing we had no backup plan. Even the former rogue survivor looked terrified. He knew what the curse meant. My mom and Bella's mom froze, their hands hovering over the feast we were supposed to share. Even Mirabella sensed it. Her tail went still, her hackles starting to rise. Bella stumbled off the stage, her body growing weaker with every step. I held her up, my eyes darting to the zombies. They could feel the curse too, growing restless. The last of her crimson glow vanished, leaving only hollow brown eyes staring back at me. The entire square went silent. We all knew what came next, if that bead died. The survivor leader grabbed his radio, barking orders to secure the perimeter. Alicia tore open her lab bag, flipping through her old notes like her life depended on it. The former rogue stepped forward, ready to fight for the harmony we'd all built. Then it happened. The red bead flickered one last time and went dark. The zombies started growling, their skin beginning to rot again. The curse was returning. I stepped in front of Bella, my sword raised, ready to fight for what we'd built, even if it was already falling apart. Alicia stared at the sky, her face twisted with despair. We had no way to stop this. Our harmony was crumbling. And this time, we had no red bead to save us. I never thought I'd face a choice like this one that would cost everything or save everyone. We gathered in our makeshift lab, hoping for answers, but got a nightmare instead. That tiny red shard? It was the last piece of the original crimson bead. We thought the bead's power was gone forever, but we were wrong. Alicia dropped the bomb. To recharge it, someone had to give up their life. Not just any life. The sacrifice had to be someone bonded to the bead from the start. I knew exactly who that meant. It was me. I was the original host of the crimson bead. I remembered the day the bead was embedded in my chest, how it changed everything for me, for all of us. I thought I'd escaped the bead's curse when we merged my dark half, but I was wrong. Mira immediately objected. She couldn't lose me, not after everything we'd been through. You can't do this, she cried. There has to be another way. I held her hand gently. There is no other way. I have to do this. Leo said nothing, but I could see the pain in his eyes. He knew I was right. Alicia showed us the old lab notes, confirming only the original host could activate the shard. The notes were clear. No one else could do this. It had to be me. I walked to the table, my hands shaking slightly as I picked up the tiny red shard. As soon as my fingers touched it, the shard began to glow brighter, responding to my touch. Everyone watched in silence, their faces filled with grief. They knew what this meant for me. Mira's tears fell silently. I could feel her pain, her fear, her love for me. I nodded to them, letting them know I was ready. I had made my choice, and I wouldn't change it. I was ready to give up my life, to save our world, our harmony, our family. The shard's light grew brighter, filling the room with a warm red glow. It was time. Alicia prepared a syringe, ready to help the process along, though she could barely hold back her tears. I closed my eyes, focusing all my energy on the shard. I could feel my life force starting to merge with it. The room was filled with light, and for a moment, I thought this was the end. But I was wrong. This was just the beginning. I thought this would be the end of Bella, but we were about to witness the impossible. Everyone held their breath, humans and zombies alike, waiting for the final moment. The shard blazed so bright, it felt like the sun was exploding in our square. I pushed through the crowd, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it over the silence. Then she lifted off the ground, wrapped in a golden light that seemed to swallow the square. Her eyes changed crimson mixed with gold, warm and alive, not the cold glow we feared. Alicia's scanner went wild. She kept muttering that this was impossible. The screen flashed green. Her vital signs weren't fading. They were getting stronger. Even the zombie mothers moved forward, their faces soft with hope we'd never seen before. The shard was gone, absorbed completely into her skin, leaving no mark at all. She floated back down to the stage, and the light started to spread outward, covering everything. When the light touched the zombies, something incredible started to happen. Their rotting flesh began to heal, the wounds closing up like they'd never been there. One by one, they looked human again, their faces whole, their eyes no longer empty. I couldn't hold back the tears. We'd never dared to hope for anything like this. I ran to her as fast as I could, desperate to make sure she was real. She hugged me back, warm and solid, just like she used to be before the outbreak. The whole square erupted in cheers, humans and zombies shouting together, united at last. Alicia and Leo high-fived, their research finally paying off beyond their wildest dreams. The zombie mothers hugged, their faces almost completely human now, tears streaming down their cheeks. Bella looked out at all of us, her eyes glowing with a power that felt like hope made tangible. The light spread to cover the entire community, touching every house, every crop, every living thing. Even the dead crops came back to life, turning green under that incredible light. The redeemed survivor worked with humans, zombies, passing supplies like we were all family now. Bella smiled at us all, and I knew this was just the start of something amazing. As night fell, the light stayed with us, turning our once dark community into something warm and safe. Alicia and Leo worked through the night, confirming what we already knew. This was permanent. The readings didn't lie. Bella wasn't just alive. She was truly immortal, and she'd kept her humanity. Bella and I walked through the quiet streets, Mirabella trotting beside us like nothing had ever changed. We'd survived the apocalypse, beaten the curse, and built something no one thought possible. I thought we'd finally won, that our harmony would last forever until the sky screamed. We laughed. We feasted humans and undead, finally bound as one family. Then, the sky split open. A blood-red portal blazed above us, pulsing with dark, hungry energy. My hand flew to my sword. That portal didn't feel like a gift. It felt like a warning. Every head turned. Even the undead fell silent, drawn to that terrible glowing rift. I peeked through it and saw a world still trapped in the nightmare we escaped. Bella stepped forward, her red glow flaring bright. I knew exactly what she was thinking. Her eyes told me everything. We couldn't just turn away from their suffering. Alicia gripped her serum, hard resolve replacing shock. She was with us. No hesitation. Leo grabbed his radio. If we were going in, we needed to be ready for anything. The rogue survivor stepped forward, his face full of regret and resolve. He owed us this atonement. Even our mothers joined her. Harmony wasn't just for us. It was for every world in pain. Even Mirabella knew this was right. She stood at Bella's feet, ready to follow anywhere. We walked together, undead and living, united as we'd never been before. Bella reached for the portal, her light merging with its red glow. "We're coming to help," she whispered. I placed my hand on her shoulder. "We're in this together, no matter what horrors we face." On the other side, chaos raged. People fought for their lives, just like we once did. Alicia and Leo brought supplies, ready to heal and protect whoever we found on the other side. The rogue survivor grabbed a sword, ready to atone for every past mistake. We stepped into the portal, and the world dissolved around us. Our new mission, to spread harmony, had just begun. I could feel the portal's energy pulling us, but Bella's resolve never wavered for a second. I held my sword tight, ready to face whatever nightmare waited on the other side. I stepped through the portal, only to stumble into a war-torn nightmare city. Buildings crumbled around me, and the streets ran red with the chaos of war. Humans and zombies clawed at each other, neither side showing mercy. I gripped my training sword, pushing through the chaos to find Bella. From above, the city looked like a graveyard, still breathing with violence. Bella stepped forward, her red bead glowing with the power to end this madness. A wave of red energy rippled out from her, cutting through the noise of battle. Slowly, the fighting stopped. Humans and zombies alike froze, staring at her. For a brief moment, there was peace, but I knew it wouldn't last. Then she stepped out of the shadows, my Bella, but twisted, wrong. Her eyes were pitch black, void of the kindness I knew so well. With a single gesture, she turned the zombies back into killing machines. The horde charged, their hunger reignited by her dark will. I raised my sword, ready to fight to protect what was left of this fragile peace. The two Bellas stared each other down, a battle of wills playing out before our eyes. The battlefield split into two, with fate hanging in the balance between them. Alicia pulled out her serum, ready to fight the dark influence spreading through the zombies. Mirabella charged ahead, her snarls cutting through the war. The peace shattered, and the city descended into chaos once again. But Bella wouldn't give up. Her red bead blazed brighter, ready to fight back against her dark half. Leo raised his rifle, standing ready to back us up in this impossible fight. Even our zombie mothers stood with us, ready to protect what we built. The zombie horde closed in, and we formed a last line of defense against the dark tide. Bella reached out, red energy coiling around her fingers as she prepared to strike. A blast of red energy shot from her hands, tearing through the horde toward her dark self. I never thought I'd face a version of myself fueled by pure, unbridled hatred. This world's rage made her stronger than I ever was. Mira fought to keep the hordes back, but the darkness kept coming. Alicia and Leo raced to cure the infected, but time was running out. Every blow landed harder than the last. She was winning, and I was fading. Her eyes, pure, empty black, held no mercy, no humanity. I was thrown like a ragdoll, my body screaming in agony. Even Mirabella fought with everything she had, but it wasn't enough. One by one, the infected regained their minds, but the battle wasn't over. My red bead's light dimmed, my powers slipping away with every second. She struck again, and I couldn't even raise my arm to block. Leo provided cover fire, buying us precious seconds to fight back. Mira's sword sang as it cut through the dark, but the horde never ended. She taunted me, feeding on my fear to grow even stronger. I collapsed to the ground, knowing I couldn't win this fight alone. But then I felt it, the faint spark of hope still burning inside me. Mira fought her way to me, cutting down anything that stood in her path. The cured joined us, turning the tide of the fight, if only for a moment. But she was too strong. One final blast sent me flying, my vision fading to black. I thought that was the end, that the darkness would finally consume me. But Mirabella wouldn't let that happen. She attacked the dark doppelganger with everything she had. Alicia and Leo brought more antidote, determined to save as many as they could. And then I woke up, my powers returning, fueled by the love of those who fought for me. This time, I wouldn't fight alone. This time, we would fight together. I never thought a single shout could stop a war. But that day, we did the impossible. Bullets flying, claws slashing this war-torn city was our final test. We yelled until our voices broke, and suddenly, everything froze. Something shifted inside me. My crimson eyes burned bright, golden light pouring out. The air hummed with power, binding us all in a single glowing thread. Even the most bitter enemies stood together, sharing in this miracle. Just when we thought we'd won, my worst nightmare stepped out of the shadows. My dark half, born from every doubt, every fear I'd ever felt. She wanted to drown everything in darkness, and she almost succeeded. But I had something she didn't, all of you, standing beside me. Our power clashed, shaking the very foundations of the city. I let the light consume me, embracing every part of who I am. One by one, her shadows dissolved, turning to dust in the golden light. When the smoke cleared, she was gone. and we were finally free. We thought it was over. But a new choice waited for us. Leo spread out the city map, his voice steady with purpose. "Stay here," he said. "Build something that outlasts the war." I looked at Mira, at all of them, and I knew we had to stay. Alicia had already started working on a cure, ready to heal what was broken. Even our mothers, trapped in their zombie forms, joined us to build something new. Mirabella barked, as if she'd been waiting for this moment all along. Shovels in hand, claws moving debris, we didn't care who was who anymore. We raised our flag, undead harmony fluttering in the wind. This war-torn city wasn't a graveyard, it was our new home. The golden light in my eyes faded, but the warmth stayed, burning bright in every heart. Human and zombie, working side by side, this was the harmony we dreamed of. Alicia's lab grew every day, her cures bringing hope to even the most broken. That night, we ate together, laughed together. For the first time in years, we were family. But I knew this was just the beginning. The multiverse still needed us. Mina squeezed my hand, her eyes saying what we all felt. We weren't done fighting. But for now, we'd build this harmony. Brick by brick, heart by heart, another day, building our impossible world, humans and undead, side by side. But today, everything shifted. We fought, we grieved, we learned to trust. This harmony, it cost us everything. Then the roar hit, a military chopper, descending fast. My hand flew to my sword. Leo's face lit up. He recognized the insignia, his CO, here to judge our work. The general stepped out, eyes cutting across the square. I held my breath, waiting for the order. "Wait till you see his face." A zombie passed him water, and he froze, speechless. My mom laughed as she stirred stew, a human girl handing her spices. This was our normal now. The man who once tried to kill Bella, he carried beams right beside an undead neighbor. Redemption, baby. Bella's calm presence held us all together. Even the undead felt her warmth, her trust. The general's hand hovered over his gun, then dropped. He stepped forward, slow, curious. Leo walked him through, pointing out every detail. No cages, no fear, just people. Our flag, tattered but proud. Undead harmony. We didn't just survive, we redefined living. Bella stepped forward, her voice steady. "We don't ask for your pity, we ask for your trust." I held my breath. Would he see us as monsters or as hope? His hand closed around hers. "You've built something the world needs. Let's share it." Cheers erupted, human yells, undead groans, all mixing into one sound. We did it. We didn't just survive, we won. Alicia pulled out her lab notebooks. "We can replicate this. Heal the world, one community at a time." Even Mirabella had fans. A little girl sat beside her, scratching her ears like she was any other dog. The general spoke into his radio, voice firm. "Send every unit. We've got a new mission. Learn, listen, change." As the sun set, we knew this was just the start. A world where we don't fear the dark, we light it together. The red bead's power hummed inside her, warm, steady, our light, our heart, our proof that hope beats fear. My mom and Bella's mom laughed as they served stew. No labels, just family. "The man who once tried to kill her," he said, "you gave me a second chance. I'll fight for this, forever." Leo showed them the crops, tended by both living and undead. We don't just survive, we thrive. This was our miracle. A world where we don't have to be enemies, we just have to be us. I thought we'd finally found peace. Until the red power in me flared to life. Our harmony story spread across the globe thanks to the military leader's broadcast. The general's voice echoed everywhere. But I felt something far bigger calling me. I could hear cries from other worlds, humans and zombies, suffering just like we once did. The red bead's power wasn't done with us. It was reaching across dimensions. My chest burned with the bead's energy, now part of every fiber of my being. Portals flickered open all around us, each a window to a different reality. Alicia and Leo stared in awe. Even they'd never seen this raw power. Our community gathered, sensing the call we weren't done fighting for harmony. The square glowed red, and I knew our next adventure had already begun. I could feel every scream, every battle, every heartbreak in those other worlds. Even my mom and Bella's mom knew we couldn't turn our backs on those in need. Mirabella sensed it too, her tail low, but her resolve clear as day. I stood beside Bella, sword ready. Whatever came next, we'd face it together. We were no longer just a community. We were a beacon for the multiverse. I wouldn't let their suffering go on. We'd bring harmony to every single world. The red power wove through the portals, tying every dimension's fate to our own. The military leader watched, realizing we were far more than just survivors. I took the first step toward the portal, and the multiverse held its breath. We were stepping into the unknown, but we were together, and that's all that ever mattered. We thought we'd fixed our world for good, but the portal had other plans for us. Me, Bella, our ragtag family, we stepped through that glowing red portal, not knowing what waited on the other side. The moment I crossed, I knew this world was nothing like ours. The air smelled of rot, but not fear. Buildings crumbled around us, but these zombies weren't mindless. They walked like they owned every inch of this place. Humans were the ones hiding in shadows now. This was their world, and we were the intruders. A terrified human peeked from a rubble pile, eyes wide at the sight of us, at Bella's glowing eyes. Bella raised her hand, and the red glow around her intensified. The zombies didn't attack, they stopped, like they recognized her power. That's when I realized these zombies could think. They weren't monsters, they were rulers. They patrolled in groups, moving with purpose. This wasn't chaos. This was a civilization run by the dead. Even weirder, they wielded weapons. These zombies were more advanced than we could have imagined. We tracked the human scent to a hidden bunker, where we finally learned the truth of this twisted world. Humans had been pushed to the brink here, forced to live like rats, while zombies ruled the skies and streets. Then they spoke of him, the zombie leader, a powerful being who'd unified the dead under his rule. We knew trouble was coming. You don't rule a world of zombies without noticing strangers in your territory. The ground shook. And when we looked outside, he was there, surrounded by his undead army, eyes fixed on Bella. He was massive, with rotting skin but eyes that burned with intelligence and greed for Bella's power. He raised a hand, and his army roared in unison. He didn't just lead zombies, he controlled them, just like Bella could. Bella stood her ground, her crimson eyes glowing brighter. She knew what he wanted, and she wasn't about to let him take it. The red bead's power hummed inside her, a warning to any who dared challenge her control over the undead. The zombie leader's voice boomed through the empty city, demanding Bella surrender her power so he could rule humans and undead forever. Join me, or watch your new friends become my next subjects. Your power belongs to me, Queen of the Undead. I gripped my sword tighter, ready to fight for Bella, for our family, even in this world where the dead held all the cards. Leo raised his rifle, his soldier's instincts taking over. We weren't going down without a fight. But Bella had other plans. She let her power surge, and some of the zombies started to hesitate, doubt creeping into their rotting minds. The zombie leader's face twisted with rage. He didn't just want Bella's power, he feared it, and we were about to make that fear a reality. We made it to this zombie-ruled world, but convincing their leader won't be easy. Every zombie here stares at us like intruders, like we'll destroy everything they know. Their leader steps forward, his eyes burning with suspicion and years of anger. I take a slow step toward him, hands raised to show I mean no harm. This square is soaked with so much hate. I can almost feel it clinging to my skin. I tell him about our community, where humans and zombies live together in peace. For the first time, I see doubt flicker in his eyes. Maybe he's tired of fighting too. Some of his zombies lower their claws. They're listening. They want this too. The humans behind me relax a little. Maybe this can work. Maybe we can fix this world. But then, I feel it's something cold, something hungry, creeping from the shadows. A void creature, pitch black, made of nothing but hunger, steps into the light. It feeds on hate. And this world has more than enough of that to keep it strong. It waves a tendril, and the zombies snap back into a rage, attacking us without mercy. My eyes flare with crimson light. I have to stop this before it's too late. I raise my hand, sending waves of red light to break its control over the zombies. Mira grabs her sword, ready to fight off any zombie that gets too close. The zombie leader's eyes go pitch black. He's under its control now. Chaos erupts. Zombies charge, and we have to fight just to stay alive. The creature grows bigger, feeding on all the hate and chaos around us. It's getting stronger. I stare at it, my heart racing. We didn't come here to fight this, but we have no choice. Alicia and Leo rush to prepare antidotes, hoping we can save the zombies from its control. It grabs a zombie, draining the hate from it, and growing even more powerful. Some zombies resist its control, fighting alongside us to stop this thing. My red bead glows brighter. I can feel its power, but is it enough to stop this creature? We're surrounded by chaos, but we have to hold on. We have to win this for everyone here. I thought we could defeat it, but the void creature just kept growing, feeding on our hatred. Every attack we threw just vanished into its shadow, like it was hungry for our anger. Bella stepped forward, her golden glow dimming. She knew our usual tricks wouldn't work. She walked straight toward it. No sword, no shield, just a strange calm in her eyes. I held my breath as she stopped, just feet from its writhing, shadowy tendrils. Then her eyes flared bright, brighter than I'd ever seen them before. She wasn't going to fight it. She opened her arms, and a warm golden light started to pour out of her like sunlight breaking through clouds. I stared, stunned. That wasn't the destructive energy we used. It was warm, gentle. The light touched us, and all the anger, all the fear, it just melted away. We stopped fighting. When the light hit the void creature, it screamed, a sound like cracking glass. It tried to pull away, but the light wouldn't let go. It seeped into its shadowy form, cracking it from the inside out. Bella's glow grew brighter, like she was pouring every last bit of herself into this. Leo dropped his gun. For the first time, I saw him look at Bella not as a weapon, but as something holy. The light swallowed it whole, and for a second, I thought it would explode, but something else happened. Its shadowy form started to shift, to glow, turning from pitch black to soft, warm gold. It wasn't a monster anymore. It was something beautiful, something at peace. Even the zombies around us looked calm, like they could feel the peace, too. It bowed to Bella, like it was thanking her for freeing it from the hunger, from the darkness. Bella smiled, exhausted but whole. She didn't defeat it with hate, she defeated it with love. In that moment, I realized it wasn't just about surviving. It was about choosing love over hatred, always. I ran to her, my throat tight. I didn't know what to say. How do you thank someone like that? She just took my hand, and I could feel that warm, gentle energy flowing into me, like she was sharing her peace with me. The light creature drifted away, into the void, leaving a trail of golden light behind it. We all watched, silent. Alicia walked over, her head bowed. She'd spent so long creating destruction, and now, she wanted to help create this. We stood together, ready for whatever came next. But this time, we knew our greatest weapon wasn't force, it was love. Dawn broke, and we stood before something that defied all logic, the multiverse gateway. We weren't alone. Every dimension sent allies, humans and zombies, to stand with Bella. But the void had other plans. Its kin crawled from the shadows, hungry to erase our harmony. Bella didn't flinch. She stepped forward, and I knew we had no choice but to follow. We stood as one, former enemies, family, allies, ready to face the unknown. Bella's power surged, wrapping her in warm gold proof she was ready to fight for all of us. The gateway flared to life, red light spilling across the ground like liquid fire. I tightened my grip on my training sword, ready to defend the only home we had left. Bella shared a look with her mom. Even as a zombie, her love never faded. The runes on the ground glowed, a silent countdown to what came next. Bella's eyes met mine, half crimson, half gold, and I knew she had a plan. We stepped forward, one by one, into the red light that would take us to the void. The void hit like a punch to the gut, endless darkness, alive with hate. They surrounded us, hundreds of them, hungry for the chaos we'd fought so hard to end. Bella stepped in front, arms outstretched, and her golden light pushed back the darkness. Alicia readied her serums, ready to heal whatever damage the void threw our way. We stood our ground, united by one thing: we wouldn't let hate win. The void creatures moved closer, their dark forms swallowing the small bit of light we had. But Bella smiled, not a smile of fear, but one of hope. She had a plan no one expected. She walked toward the heart of the void, and we followed, ready to change the multiverse forever. Her power spread, wrapping around every one of us, a shield of hope in the dark. Even Mirabella stood tall, her brass bell glinting in the gold light, ready to fight. The reformed survivor stood with us, his eyes full of regret, ready to make things right. Our moms stood together, even as zombies, their love for us stronger than any curse. We were ready, not with weapons alone, but with love, unity, and the courage to change everything. I'll never forget the moment Bella merged with the void golden light exploding from every inch of her. The shadowy void creatures all around us began to glow, like they were being reborn. One by one, they transformed from shadow monsters into beings of pure light. I stood there, frozen, watching the impossible unfold right in front of my eyes. The entire void was flooded with warm golden light, turning darkness into pure hope. Alicia looked on, her face a mix of shock and relief. Her creation had done the impossible. Leo, ever the soldier, simply stood in awe, his usual stern expression gone. Even my mom and Bella's mom, once lost to the undead, held hands, hope shining in their eyes. The rogue survivor who once tried to harm us looked on, regret and hope warring in his face. Even Mirabella seemed to sense the change, her tail wagging like never before. Then we heard her voice, warm, vast, like it was coming from every corner of existence. The beings of light bowed as one, their gratitude palpable, even without words. These weren't monsters anymore, they were beings of pure, gentle light. I stepped forward, almost reaching out to touch the light, still not believing what I was seeing. Then, right before us, a new golden portal appeared, glowing with warm light. It wasn't the red portal we knew. This one felt different, softer, full of promise. Alicia and Leo were first to move, their vials of serum ready for whatever came next. My mom and Bella's mom followed, still holding hands, their steps steady now. The rogue survivor joined us, his posture firm. He was ready to meet amends. I stood there for a moment, staring at the light that was once my best friend, my sister in all but blood. Then I took a step forward, my hand reaching for the warm golden light in the portal. One by one, we stepped through, ready to face whatever new adventure awaited us. The light wrapped around me, warm and safe, like a hug from the universe itself. When we emerged, we found ourselves in a place I could never have imagined. Bright, vibrant, full of life. Then her voice returned, gentle but firm. Our work wasn't over. Not yet.